It's been about a few weeks, actually. My bad for that. Um, I've just been like super busy with school and trying to find a new job, etc., etc. So, yeah. I apologize that you haven't seen me in a while. Um, we are currently playing Minecraft. I know I'm not really known for doing any type of Minecraft or stuff like that, but I've actually been a fan of Minecraft for quite a while. Um, one of the big things that I enjoyed about it was that it was basically just very comforting for me. Like I could waste like hours, literally hours, on just exploring. Building a world. Just all that fun stuff. Um, but I came from vanilla Bedrock actually. Um, which for those of you who don't know what in the world that means, so vanilla Bedrock just basically means that Bedrock is a version of Minecraft that basically has it's for kind of like Microsoft. It's basically just a different version of Minecraft. So you have like Bedrock and then you have Java. And they're both different versions of the same game. Um, Bedrock, I feel like, is very simple compared to Java. I got a very hard wake up call when I started playing Java because this right now, what I'm playing is it's called All the Mods. We just call it ATM. It's a lot easier to explain it that way. But this is called All the Mods, and basically what that means is it includes about, I don't know, like about 300 mods basically. And mods just simply means modifiers, or modded programs or applications. For example, just to kind of give you like a brief overview, here is basically the kind of like the bigger mods in this pack basically. So in all the mods, the main purpose of it is to get like some crazy gear. I mean, just like I said, I came from Bedrock. I'm not used to this level of playing. This is a much bigger level of playing for me. So it's been an experience, but basically this is the purpose of it, is get to the ATM star, which basically all that means is that you need it in order to create creative items. And creative items are basically just all powerful sources basically. So basically it's like if you want like unlimited power or energy or mana or stuff like that, this is how you would get it. And it takes a very significant effort. I mean, incredible effort to be able to get to this. Yeah, as you can see here, I've been playing this game for about 2 weeks now, and I haven't even done any of these end games things because they just take crazy stuff basically. Like what? Um, Actually, I might be able to do this one. Actually, this one looks pretty easy. Um, but anyways, so I first started, and like I said, I came from Bedrock. Like I literally knew nothing about how Java Minecraft operated. So it was a whole new learning experience for me, just entirely different from what I knew. Um, so I had to learn basically everything all over again. The way you do something in Bedrock isn't the same way you're gonna do it in Java. Plus, in this one, we have all these mods and stuff like that. So it's like, well, okay, I have to learn how to play Minecraft in Java now, and then I have to learn all these mods. Um, so I had to start from the basics. I had to go, okay, well, how do I craft a crafting table? How do I get this? How do I get that? How do I get this? How do I make that? It was this literally this section right here, which is some of the easiest stuff to create in a game. It took me forever, to be honest with you. It took me a while. It took me a couple days, I think, at least, to kind of get through just this basic stuff right here. And, partly the reason why is also because, you start on an island. It's not exactly like a one block challenge, but it's a very, very small, like 5x5 island, basically, that you start with. You don't start with a chest full of stuff. I think you start with like 5 basic items, which is these items right here. This is what we call a head start. So it gives you a lava bucket, ice, sugar cane, wheat seed, and a cactus, and you get one of each. So if you lose it, I mean, you've kind of lost it. So this is what you start with, and then a small island that has obviously dirt, a tree, and that was it. I mean that's all you started with. So to go from one small starting island to this in 2 weeks is, to be perfectly honest, is beyond my wildest imagination. I never thought I would get into Minecraft like this. To kind of give you like an idea of it, I don't really see it anymore, but my starting position was roughly about over here. Actually, I think my starting position was like right here. And then like about a 5x5 area around this starting point. And that is basically just 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 5, and then 5, and then 5, and then of course 5 down. Or maybe it was 4 down, actually. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I started with a very small area, and now look at this. Like, this is the most I've ever done in Minecraft, ever. Like, normally when I play in Minecraft, like I said, I play on Bedrock. Never beat the Ender Dragon, never beat the Wither, never I don't think I ever even made it to the end. I've never been to the end and vanilla Bedrock. I've spent very little time in the Nether and Bedrock. And yeah, and of course, Bedrock also doesn't have all these extra mods or whatever or blah blah blah. So yeah, like I was kind of lost there for a couple days. Right now I am playing on a server, as you can see here on my right hand side. I do have a death counter. This server is currently actually being hosted by one of my good friends, Diego. Diego is amazing. Love Diego. These are all those people that you see over there on the right side. Those are all people that I've played various games with over the past, gosh, probably like 5 or 6 years. We're very close and small gaming community, basically. We started out playing. I think we started out playing Eve Echoes, if I remember correctly. I believe that's how we met. Actually, was Eve Echoes, which is a mobile game based off of Eve Online, which is a space strategy RPG type of game, whatever. So it was crazy. I mean, just absolutely crazy how we met, basically. And it's really kind of awesome. I'm going to share my screen on Discord real quick, because I can go live. Just so, like, I know sometimes my friends, I'm going to go ahead and notify them I'm streaming because screw you guys. But so yeah, we started out playing Eve Echoes. We originally didn't even know each other. I was in a different corps, or corporation as it's called in Eve Echoes. And then Diego, Griffin, and Aubrielle, and among a few others, they were in a different corporation. And somehow our corporations merged. And so obviously, we're meeting new people or new members or whatever. And yeah, we played Eve Echoes for a couple years together. We just got really close. There is a Discord community that we have, which is GTFO, which stands for Get the Fuck Out. That's kind of like our inside joke among all of us here in GTFO. Because of all the games that we've played and whatnot, it's just kind of become like a community, kind of like a community hashtag, really. Like, that's always been like our motto. Like, if you don't like us, get the fuck out. That's literally been our motto for like a while now. And anyways, so yeah, I play this server with a small group of friends. As you can see here, zoom out here, these 6 dots, if you can see that, these 6 dots are basically all people that 4 of them are people from GTFO, our Discord community, and then 2 of them are actually from I believe they're friends of Diego's from outside our gaming community, but we've had them join us. So yeah, this one over here, don't ask. This is Diego, okay? I don't know what the hell's Diego is doing over here. I've been to his place a few times, which is this place right here. This is his base. He's made it very, very beautiful, very eccentrically detailed, at least over in this area. This area over here is kind of like his mechanical place. He's still working. This was kind of like a starter area. But he's kind of been working on cleaning this area up, making it look really, really nice. And then he built this huge ass long line. This is single block, by the way. These are all single blocks. So he built this huge long line. I mean, look at the size comparison compared to ours, basically. Everybody else's. Like, his is huge. Well, it's not really just huge. It's just that he created this incredibly long, ridiculous long line. So I think I've actually been here once. I was spawning the Wither to fight it. I had to fight it like 6 times or something like that to get data for the hostile neural network, which I'll explain here in a bit. And of course, I ran all the way over here to go to his like little fighting area, because I don't have like a fighting area set up. So I had to run all the way over here just to spawn the Wither 6 times and beat it. So that was fun. And then of course over here, this is me. So this is the top-down map of my base, basically. Not very impressive, to be perfectly honest with you. Doesn't look like much from the top. It looks like a mashup of just me being me, basically. And that's really, and I mean, and essentially speaking, that's kind of what it is. I have no form or function. I'm trying to get better at that. Like I said, I came from vanilla bedrock, so I came from surrounding myself in cobblestone, slapping an oak door on it, lighting it up with torches and going, all right, that's my house. That's what I came from. So, yeah. The fact that I have all this, like, I should get a freaking medal. Bees suck, by the way. So one of the packs in here is called Productive Bees, which is basically where you get into bee breeding, basically. And you have these bees, and they do different things, blah, blah, blah. So I tried to get into that, and my bees kept escaping. These are my two original bees. They are I can't even tell you where they are. They're so far up in the stratosphere, it's ridiculous. And this over here is just a small island that should not technically be there. So yeah. And then over here to the far left is Griff. So this is Griff's place over here. He's very, very, very nicely set up in a large, large area. This is his Battle Dome or Thunderdome. He's really deep into Botania, which is kind of like the nature magic part of all the mods. So over here, this is where he summons the Guardian of Gaia. Blah, blah, blah. And he has a lot of like magic stuff over here. He has a huge pasture right here. And then what you can't see underneath all of this, he has this huge, incredibly intricate AE2 network. And that's kind of the basis of what I'll be talking about today is AE2. Because that's what I'm currently working on. It's not fully formed. It's a work in progress. So, reserve your comments. But it's just so freaking interesting. I mean, just so cool. Like I said, I come from vanilla Bedrock, so to me, this is like, it's like night and day. It's amazing. So anyways, I'm going to show you what I got. Now, for me, this is super, super advanced. This is like, I am on another level. It looks like absolute crap right now. Don't get me wrong. It looks terrible. I've got stuff everywhere. Like things I'm not probably going to use anytime soon. Like this trash can. I don't need it here. This shulker chest, the end cake, all these rose quartz lamps or lanterns. I mean, a lot of this stuff, I've got stuff everywhere. So this is my mystical agriculture section. So mystical agriculture, basically you get these seeds, which gives you essence, which is right over here. So it gives you like essence of stuff. And then you can basically craft resources from this essence, which is absolutely fantastic. So I got really, really deep into this. I'm not like at the end of it yet because, again, I get sidetracked. Not gonna lie, like that's probably been like one of my most hardest things to overcome is, I want to do something, so then I have to learn how to do it, and I'm like, okay, well, this is how I do it, or this is how it's showing me I can do it, and then I learn of a different way I could do it. I'm like, oh, well, that way looks better. Let me try that. And then I keep going. And I'm like, oh, this is really working well. Let me get deeper into that until I've gotten to the point to where I've forgotten the whole entire reason why I started that new quest in the begin with. So, as you can clearly tell, I've dabbled into quite a bit of things. Here is my enchanting table. This one took me quite a bit of work, by the way. Mostly because it was just very difficult to figure out the individual components. Like, I'm used to the typical bookshelf, like straight up 3 books, plank, desk. This is what I am used to in vanilla Bedrock. So to see all these other bookshelves, if I show you enchanting right here, so you have all these enchanting bookshelves that do all sorts of things. It's nuts. And this comes from the Apotheosis mod, um, which basically just incredibly changes the way enchantments are done, or how high they can go, or what enchantments are available. Just all those things. So this one took me a lot of work. As you can see here on my top left-hand side, what we call the tooltip. I have this one basically as maxed as I could probably get it. I could probably just try to fine tune and tweak it to get that a turn up to 50. Honestly, I'm not that concerned. I'm already way overpowered, more than I ever thought I would be. So I'm not terribly concerned about it. I'm not a perfectionist, in the extreme sense. I like things to be nice. Don't get me wrong. I like things to be nice, but I'm not like work at it and work at it and work at it, work at it till it's just 100% completely just done. This one is really, really good. It's like 90% basically kind of complete. So as you can see here, so if I pop in it's not a book. Actually, do I have any books in here? Probably not. I do not have any books in there, but I do have them in my backpack. So you pop a book in here, it's going to give you a list of enchants, basically. And as you can see here on the top left, it's showing enchanting at level 80. That's, for me, that's amazing. You have to be at least level 80 to hit the third tier. You have to be 62 to hit the second, and 31 to hit the first. Normally, it's just like, I forgot what it is in vanilla, but it's a lot less than that, that's for sure. So basically, this gives you like, because I have enchanting clues, due to these right here, the Shelf of Masterful Sight. I have 3 of those, so you automatically start with 1 clue. But this one gives you +2 each, which puts me at 7, which I want to say that's the max. I don't know for sure, but I normally don't see higher than 5, This one's showing me 6, so perfectly fine. And then the Pearlescent bookshelves. I mean, these are, Pearlescent end shelves. Shelf of Infusion Rectification. I mean, yeah, this stuff is like way beyond my normal parameters here. Excuse the mess over here. I'm currently in the middle of moving, basically. Well, not moving, but moving my inventory. Yes, I know I have a shield on. I don't need to have a shield right now. I'm not fighting anything, but I hate taking it off and putting it back on, and taking it off and putting it on, and I'd rather just keep it there. I do have my chest armor over here as cosmetic because I wear my jetpack. Again, in the process of upgrading, I'll be switching over to that different jetpack, so that way I can wear that on my back, and then be able to wear my chest armor on my body, which will be really, really nice. But I'm not there yet. Again, rabbit holes, guys. Rabbit holes. That's what it comes down to, is rabbit holes. So I got started on the AE2 line. Well, this was like the second quest right here, was to get through this part right here, which is like the basic, the next level up, basically. Like okay, you know how to make all the really basic items. Now we're going to show you how to make the next step in basic items. Basically, that's kind of how it goes. That took a while. This one probably took me a little bit longer, to be honest with you. This, of course, once I got to a far enough point, I just started knocking all these out, just easy as hell. Except for the unobtainium. That one, I mean, it was easy to complete that. All you needed was just a unobtainium ingot, which is, I believe, is the I guess, the rarish ingot in the game. It's not like the most rare, I guess you can say. I don't know, but I think it would be the rarest. And then of course I have the elytra, which I don't use. But see, this is a good point. It's like I never really got to the elytra in vanilla, um so when you get to here, like, well, you have jetpacks here. It's like, all right, well, elytra is nothing compared to a jetpack. Like, jetpacks are really fun. For example, so I can just go up, and you can see the little fire trail that I got right here. But this is kind of like a top-down view of my base. And I'll kind of give you a little bit more of a tour here in a little bit here. I've got some big trees over there, really pretty. That right there that I'm looking at is my bee cage, or supposed to be. I've got one bee in there, and that's only because I was able to trap them. When I learned that, okay, I need a roof in order to trap bees, I guess. This is my beacon. Just kind of give you an idea here. So these right here are called beacons, which are extremely cool. I never gotten any of these before. I managed to create 6 of them. And then, of course, I have it stacked on top of a platform or pyramid of emerald blocks. And I did it in a rectangular shape so that way it could fit 6 beacons in a fully powered pyramid, basically. If you just do like the normal, like, what is it, like 4x4 or something like that, then you can only do like, I don't know, 2 beacons, or I don't remember what it is, but I went for the full effect. And then, of course, underneath it, I just was like playing around. Kind of made like an Oreo, I guess, but I put obsidian in between. And then underneath that, I put diamond blocks in the reversed polarity of the emerald here. So the exact same shape, just diamond blocks. And then, of course, supporting it with obsidian pillars. Although it doesn't need support. If I take those pillars out, it's not going to fall or anything like that. And then I decided to kick it up another notch and encase the entire thing in glass. Don't ask me why I did that. I was just kind of bored one day. I was like, oh, I got all these extra materials. Let's do this. That was basically what it came down to. This is me playing around with power, basically. So I got solar power up here. Way, 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 way up there. This red line right here. These are all wind generators. And this is where I get the bulk of my power. Or energy, whatever you want to call it. I call it power, but the in-game definition would be like energy. Electricity would probably be a better explanation. So this is at max build height. Ah, shit, I missed the landing. There we go. Okay. So we have, I don't even remember how many I put up here. I think it's like around 30, actually. 30 wind generators. The sad part is that they're as high up as they can go, because their power increases the higher up they go, basically, however high you build them. But even still, their max power is only at like 82 FE per tick. They could go up to 192, but apparently not here. Not with this max build height of 3. Right now I'm at 312, but if I put them like up here, they won't work. I won't. The game won't let me put them up there, so I had to lower them just so that way they fit. So yeah, this is the bulk of my power, for the time being at least. I'm gonna jump down here. Okay. All right. Again, excuse the mess. This is whatever. This is some ether gas. I had the wither up in here. My first time doing that as well, by the way. But I found out I needed ether gas for some things. So I think the only way to get ether gas was to basically trap the wither and basically put like a laser like right here and basically just kind of suck liquid out of them. I don't really know how you call it, but it's basically called milking the wither. So you have to build this containment facility for them. And then down there, right where that little blank hole is, that's where I had a stasis chamber. So basically, you put the stasis chamber right there. It basically traps anything that within a certain radius. So then you spawn the wither inside of here. The stasis chamber traps them basically. And then from there, it's like you put the laser here, and then the laser just does this thing. And it puts it over here, and then puts it right here. That's the way it did work. As you can see here, it does not work that way anymore. So basically what had happened was, I don't know how it happened, but I was messing with power over here. I think this was around the time I was making the quantum entangle porter, which is, I don't really need at this point, honestly. But I was just trying to do whatever I could in the mechanism line. And somehow or another, this stasis chamber down here lost power. When that loses power, the containment field drops, and the wither escaped and started blowing holes in my base. And yeah. And of course, at the time, I didn't have my sword on me. This one right here. I didn't have the sword on me. So I had to run all the way over here to my chest real quick. Get into my little chest of goodies here. Pull out my sword. Go up top here and then go fight the wither who had been up like, floated up like around here or whatever. And then replace all the glass that had broken and blah, blah, blah. Thankfully, he didn't really do too much damage, so I was very, very happy about that. But since then, I have not rebuilt putting the wither back in here. I've got 65,000 MB of ether gas, which I feel like is good enough. I haven't even used it yet, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna leave this here for the time being if I decide to go back to it, but probably not. So I'll probably just take this down at some point. This is my sieving system. Again, don't make fun of it. I know it's hard to believe, but it used to look a lot worse than this. To be honest with you. Again, like I said, I was very new to Java. I was very new to all these mods. So there was a very, very steep learning curve for me when it came to learning the mechanics of not only how Java works, but also how all these mods work and how those mods can work together. So yeah, took me a while. But now I'm at a very good place right now where I've got just oodles of resources. I mean, just like right now I'm producing so many resources that I'm not using that they're basically just kind of going to the trash. I've actually stopped sifting gravel simply because I already have way too much of those resources that it gave me. So like iron ingots, gold, emeralds, diamonds, like these are blocks of this stuff, like blocks. Each block is worth 9 of the individual item. So a block, well, 210 blocks of diamonds would basically be about 1,800 diamonds, which I don't need. But I keep them there because I do need them at some point. But obviously not in very large quantities, so yeah. This is my Infernium right here. My Infernium block. And you got another quartz over here, Certus quartz crystal, which is extremely useful in AE2. Fluix dust, also very useful in AE2. And then Certus quartz dust over here, and glowstone, also very useful in AE2. In AE2, just to kind of give you, because that's the whole point of this stream right now, to give you an idea, this is what AE2 looks like. So AE2 stands for Applied Energistics. I don't really know if the name really makes a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you, but whatever. So basically, the point of AE2 or Applied Energistics is to basically create a computer. So this isn't like the typical redstone type computer where you have these little shiny torches and, for example, I'll give you a brief idea over here. So redstone, this is what redstone does. It basically acts as a mechanism. That's how it works. I have a redstone torch right here connected to a automated pedestal. So this redstone activates this pedestal. So whenever something comes in range, it will attack whatever that comes in range, as long as it's activated. If it's not activated, it's not going to be doing nothing. Where did my... Oh, you grabbed it. I was like, where the hell did it go? Anyway, sorry about that. All right. Put you back over there, but I've got a really nice sword over here, which kind of give you a... oh, I can't use the shield, apparently. There we go. So here's the sword that I'm currently using on this pedestal. It's got Scavenger 3, Fire Aspect, Looting. My favorite part of this one is Knowledge of the Ages level 3, which basically means everything that the enemy drops is converted directly into experience, which is how I was able to attain the level that I'm currently at, and probably then some. Sweeping Edge, Soul Reaper, Sharpness, Smite, those basically just kind of increase damage. And as you can see down there at the lower left, this is a Vibranium sword. It does 122.5 attack damage. Again, I came from vanilla Bedrock, so the most damage I was used to doing was like 7, 8 with like a diamond sword. And that was usually the highest I got, was a diamond sword. That was it. Diamond gear. That was the extent of my game. So yeah, very, very different. Going to put the sword back here, kind of give you an idea. So the way this system works, for those of you who don't know, so you can see those little hanging things up there, those boxes. They're called spawners. So they contain an enemy basically, and it will spawn that enemy. Now, normally, these are automatically always active. So as long as they're like in a dark place, they're going to spawn stuff. I have it basically created a way to, well, not created a way, I didn't create it. I modified these spawners to only turn on when they are in contact with redstone. So basically, that's this stuff right here. This is called redstone dust. Now, this is probably a bit more. This is probably a very dumb way of doing this, probably, but this is probably just the easiest, simplest way I could think of doing it. So basically, redstone will send a signal. It's like an electronic, electric impulse, basically, through whatever it is. So it goes through this cobblestone block and then down to the block beneath it, which is the spawner. And then in order to activate this, because right now it's turned off, otherwise if you don't turn it off, it just stays on. So I ran it all the way over here, put a redstone torch right there, and then a lever. And basically this lever, as soon as I turn it on, those spawners start up. They start dropping mobs. This thing kills them. I stand here, collect the experience, and everything that they drop, if they do drop anything at all, which they're not going to with that sword there, then their drops are going to go into here and then get filtered into this. So I'll give you an example. Turn it on. You can see they're now all lit up like braziers. You know, they're looking all cool and stuff. You can see them spinning. And then they start spawning stuff, right? And you hear those little dingy dings. So that's the sword basically attacking them. So the sword is killing them for me. Like I'm literally doing nothing. I'm standing here. The sword is killing them for me. And yeah, I'm just standing here collecting the experience, which is amazing. They're spawning fairly quickly. I do have the spawn rate kind of turned up quite a bit over here. Normally they don't really spawn this quickly or in this much amount, so. But as you can see here, after only a few minutes, I've gone up by like 50 levels. Started at 160, and now I'm at about almost 220. So a very, very quick, efficient way of getting experience, basically. And then I generally just use that experience to pull books out of my enchanting table and then pop those books into my library, which is another cool thing from Apotheosis. But it basically allows me to store any enchantments as its own individual power, basically. So Blessing, for example, if I wanted to pull out Blessing and enchant it on an item, let's say I want to enchant this pickaxe. All right. Well, it shows me all the enchantments that are compatible with a pickaxe. Not that they're compatible with each other, but they're compatible with a pickaxe. So like Fortune and Silk, for example, they still cannot be put on the same pickaxe. You can put either Fortune or either Silk Touch, not both. On this one, I have Fortune because I don't really need Silk Touch. And Fortune just increases how many ores you get for whatever you mine. Efficiency increases the mining speed. Boon of the Earth increases. If you're just mining just regular stone, it increases the chances of finding ore. And then Tombstone just preserve the item on death. And that's really about it. It's all you really need from a pickaxe. And then, of course, my sword is probably overkill. I even renamed it to Shadow's Vibranium Sword of Death because it's just ridiculous. This isn't even the top sword yet. This isn't even like the most difficult sword to obtain. I could build an Obtainium sword, which is through the use of not those, not those, unobtainium ingots. I mean, I have quite a bit of them. I'm trying to save them though. I've got a lot of vibranium, and I got all the modium around here somewhere. Right here. There's my all the modium. So I've got all the end ores crafted in ingots. I'm doing very well. Did take a lot of time though to kind of get that far, so I'm very proud of that. In any case, let's get back to what I was working on. So let me see if I can break this down for you guys. So basically, this is about turning your inventory into digital space. To give you an example, these are hard drives down here. So basically, I have these hard drives, and they will store the item. So in the same way that a chest would store an item, okay, that item is now in that chest, right? Okay. But I have to, physically go to that chest in order to get it. This instead stores it on a hard drive. So I'll take that out, pop that out real quick. It's completely safe to do so, by the way, in case you're playing AE2. Completely safe to pop out your hard drive at any point in time. But everything will probably not be available to you. So this may look a little bit different, or some things might, like my all the modium, it's no longer there because it's on that hard drive, and I don't have access to that hard drive right now. So if I put it over here, this shows you all the items that the hard drive is going to be storing. It's a mess. Yes, I know. I'm aware of that. Okay. I know it's an absolute mess. I could probably sort it. But I don't want to mess with it, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because this is a huge pain. Like, making sure everything stays on here takes a lot of work. And make sure that I have the things on here that I want to store on here, blah blah blah. A lot of work. Really, really big pain. So now that I put it back into my hard drive, go back to my crafting terminal, there's my aluminum. So it's back on the network, basically. And that's basically what this is. This is a digital network. That is the basis of AE2, is to create a digital network of your stuff. So these are more like, I would call these CPUs, in my opinion. So these basically control the processes, the way that I look at it, at least. So it shows me everything that's connected to my computer, basically. So there's my hard drive, there's my monitors. These are other drives, or whatever you want to call them. These would be like folders. So yeah, just a bunch of different things. And this kind of shows me how everything's doing, how much energy I'm using, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So this is the actual crafting stuff right here. So this stuff right here, this is how you actually craft stuff. Or at least automate crafting stuff. You can craft stuff in general. I mean, you want to craft stuff, there's a crafting terminal. You put your stuff in, and it'll make it. Easy peasy. But this automates it. This makes it to where it stores that information, that schematic basically, and then you can call upon it later and be like, hey, craft me so many of these items. And it'll go, okay, boss. That's what it'll do. And this is where these are right here. These are all the patterns that I currently have installed right now. Just very basic items, things that I'll be using a lot of or wanted to have automated. So like all the storage components, because those are not only complex to make, because there's a lot of steps involved, but they're incredibly useful. Like you always need more storage, right? It's a computer, so you want more storage. You always want more energy. And these two right here will store energy. You want cables. You need to be able to craft cables in order to connect everything, right? Some of these other things, obviously don't really make a whole lot of sense, but they make sense to me. A lot of these are just materials needed to make some of these things, and vice versa. Like these processors right here, that's what goes into making these and making those, and so yeah. So the stuff that I would normally use, it's for the most part here. Okay. These are new. These are not technically part of the AE2 mod line. These are different. These are part of what's called Laser, which is kind of like an add-on to AE2. To kind of give you an example, so the Laser stuff is right up here. All this stuff right here. This top row, this is Laser. So lazier, basically all it does is it kind of gives you a way to automate the automation, basically, if that makes sense. Um, so for example, this circuit etcher, okay, well, I no longer need to use um, like printed silicone and printed logic circuits. It will craft whatever I need from the base resource. So instead of crafting a, let's say, for example, a silicone processor and a calculation processor template, and then turn it into a calculation processor, this one just takes the base resource and gives me the final product. So that's really, really cool because those are extremely useful in creating a lot of stuff in here. Um, and then, so these are pattern providers. So I store the patterns inside here. And I had to go to a tutorial to learn how to do this because this is like trying to learn Spanish for me. So yeah, this was very interesting. First time ever doing this. Messing with the pattern providers, making an up arrow, changing the input outputs, the auto eject or auto extract, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, very, very interesting, very, very different. Um, I'll go over that here in a little bit here. So yeah, so this will automate basically everything that I need as far as creating more stuff. This creates all the circuits. This will create coal dust, which is useful for creating something fluix dust. I forgot what it does. This one is used for making the fluix crystal, which is again used in some of the patterns. And there's the carbonics fluix dust, which requires coal dust. Coal dust is one of those things I don't have in bulk supply, so having something to be able to make coal dust so that I can make carbonics fluix dust is really nice. And then quartz glass and vibrant quartz glass are used in a lot of recipes as well, like these right over here, and also those. So I got a 256K crafting storage, which is way more than I need right now. But I wanted it, so I built it. Same thing with the 256K item storage cell. That I do definitely need because I have just, I mean, look at all these chests right here. These are all diamond chests, by the way, that store a lot of stuff. All my upgrades, all my potions that I've gathered, all the botany stuff, resources, just food, and this is Ars Nouveau stuff. So magic, basically. These are all the spawners I've gotten. I've got dyes over here. This is the remainder of my mechanism stuff. These are all various machines I built and no longer use, and just I feel terrible about throwing them away, so I store them here. um, and then my building supplies, my special items. So things that I like. These are like my, not like my pride and joys, but these are like my special items. These are like the things that I like. Oh, I definitely want to be keeping that or whatever. HNN stands for Hostile Neural Network. Basically, is what happens is you create a tablet and whatever, which is in here. This is the learning HUD. If you right click on it, you'll be able to create these little templates here that you can load onto it. You can only hold up to 4. And then as you kill these particular enemies, it will gather data on them. Once you get to at least 6, generally speaking, for most of these enemies, it'll move to basic. And basic simply means I can go over here and pop it into here, which is the hostile neural network simulation chamber. To give you a brief example, I'm not really going to go into it too much, but to give you a brief example, let's do Creeper, for example. Actually, no, I don't have Spider. Is there a Spider data model? There is not. Oh, wait, there is. Which I don't have for some reason. I don't know why I don't have Spider. I need to change that, guys. I'm sorry. I need to change that. Of course, I could always just do sheep. Actually, let's do sheep. Actually, this is a very good idea, actually. I need to do sheep. Do I have any sheep stuff yet? No. Okay, but I currently have sheep at basic. So I've gotten the required number of kills to move it up to basic, and that's pretty much about it. I stopped using it. So let me go pop it over here. So I'm going to put it up here, and now it's going to run the simulation. It will basically go through an attack pattern, and it'll basically just start attacking a simulated sheep. And basically, every time you complete a simulation, whether it fails or succeeds, you're going to get what's called a prediction, which is going to be based on overworld, which is like your normal world, nether, which would kind of be like the in-between, and then the end, which would kind of be like I don't know what you would want to call it, but it's like a very, very dark place. Very creepy, very scary, very deadly, all that fun stuff. So anyways, it's going to go through its simulation, right? So it's just going to kind of keep going, and as it goes, it's going to eventually, as it succeeds, you can see there it succeeded. It drops a prediction based on that enemy. Now I'm going to take that prediction out, put it in my inventory, and in return, I can use it to get items, which is extremely useful, especially in the beginning. Oh my goodness, I made so much raw beef from my cow simulator that I will never run out of food again, ever. But this one is actually incredibly useful for me because as I've gotten deeper into AE2, I've noticed quite a bit that I need a lot of wool to upgrade the cables. I don't know why, but it's the closest thing to cotton, I guess. And that's the closest thing to synthetic optics or whatever. So that's what it wants. Problem is, I only got like 2 sheep out there, and I very rarely go and shear them. So this is a very quick and easy way to just get a ton of free stuff. Basically, that's the way I look at it. Just automatically gives you stuff. So right now it's not really producing a whole lot for me. I've gotten 1 prediction, which equals 8 wool, 8 pieces of wool. And it's probably been about a good 5, almost 10 minutes at this point. So right now it's not looking very, very good. But as it completes a simulation, its level increases. It gets better and better. It's learning. It's a learning algorithm. So it will passively get better. I could just put this thing back into my tablet, go around, kill a bunch of sheep, and it'll increase it quicker, but this is a great way to passively do it. So I'm going to let that run for a bit here. I'm going to keep that there, and I'm going to run back over here. Yay! Okay. All right, so going back to this, again, this is basically just kind of like a computer or digital network. Right here, this is my crafting terminal. So for me to interact with this system, basically, to do anything really, you're going to need a crafting terminal. So I have one here, which I can interact with if I want. So if I right click on it, there is my terminal. It shows me everything that's on my network. It shows me everything that I can craft. If I switch that, this shows me everything that I can craft, which is great because I'm like, okay, well, I need some more of this. Like, for example, I need more blank patterns. All right. Now, normally it's supposed to keep some in there for me, but I took that out. So now I need to manually craft them. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm using more patterns now, so I need to create more blank patterns so that way I can, automate more stuff, basically. That's kind of the end goal here. So when I select blank pattern and I tell it to craft it for me, it's going to ask me, okay, well, how much do you want, bro? So basically from here, I'm going to do like 20. I go through these things fairly quickly as I kind of move along. So I'm going to click on next. Now it's going to tell me everything it's going to require to make 20 of those. And the more important part is up here at the top where it shows bytes used. So this uses bytes in order to create, not to create. You're still using all these materials, but it takes memory basically. It takes RAM, however you want to call it. It needs a buffer there to be able to craft all this stuff. So if all this stuff was not available, available just means that I currently have it on hand in my storage, in my network. Then it would take longer for this to build, and it would have more bytes that would require it to be used. Now this is only 160 bytes to create 20 of those. I go down here. I have a 256K crafting storage device. So basically any process that requires 256,000 bytes or below, I can craft it, no problem. Anything above that, which is, there's really not much, honestly, then I wouldn't be able to craft it. So I'm going to go back here. I need to do 20 of those. So it's going to ask me, okay, well, who do you want to send this to? Because most times people are going to have multiple crafting CPUs or RAM, whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to tell it, oh, well, you know what, you pick, which I only have one, to be honest, which is this one right here. It kind of, and again, it shows you your processor, how big it is, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to click start. Up here, it tells me, okay, well, this is in it, and it's already done. It's already done, by the way. So yeah, it's pretty quick. So here it tells me, okay, well, I finished creating it, but where is it? All right, well, this is my crafting section. So I need to go back to my stored section, and there it is, blank pattern, and now I have 40. Apparently I already had 20 in there, and I didn't know it. But that's fine. It's fine. So I'm going to go and pull those out. Right click on it and split it into 2 stacks. I'm going to put that stack back in there. Because I don't really need 40 on hand right now. So go over here to the pattern encoding terminal. This is how you make these patterns into something that you can actually use to automate a service. So I'm going to keep those stored in there. They are no longer in my inventory. These are all the patterns that I currently have. I'm kind of going through this slowly. Like I'm not just rushing and creating a whole ton of patterns that I don't need. I'm being very, very meticulous with the patterns that I believe I'm going to need. Right now I've got every single, and so far as I know, basic item basically. So I'll be doing more, but right now this one seems pretty good to me. One of the things I really want to kind of do is create more spacers. So these cable anchors, which basically separates cables. I need to create some more of those, the glass cable, and I need to create a lot of these dense smart cables. But in order to create those, I need wool. So while my hostile neural network over there is running, its simulations. I'm just going to stand over here and work on this with something that doesn't require wool, for example. One of those is this right here, the ME controller, which kind of acts like the brain, I guess you can say. So right now, I started off with one, and the way it's explained in the game, right here. So basically, the way it works is everything has or takes up a channel, basically. The controller defines how many channels can be on that network, basically. So right now it says that it provides 32 channels out of each face of the block for a total of 216 channels. That's the basis part. After that, you can expand it more up to a 7 by 7 by 7 block, which is a bit ridiculous in my opinion. But yeah, right now I have 2 blocks. I don't really need more in my opinion. I'm gonna do more just because I can, I guess. I don't know. But I know I'll be adding more channels, and also I kind of want it to look better than just this. So they're both on the same network. So they're both storing or using all the channels that are on this network. So like these over here, and this tells you exactly what's taking up space on the network. So cables don't cost anything. Molecular assemblers don't cost anything. And I want to say these don't cost anything or something like that. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I guess it counts one of those. I don't know. I don't really know the specifics of it, but that's basically the way it works. But if I want to create more stuff or add more stuff to it, then it's gonna take up more space, basically. And basically, my goal is to, one, put all the crap from these chests into my network. Like I said, I just have a lot of stuff. This is my AE2 stuff. My Tinker stuff. I mean, just you name it, I've got it. I've got like 2 drawers of chests, all these weapons and armor that I'll never use again. I just think they look cool. My bees stuff, furnaces and stuff like that. I mean, just, and all this stuff over here. This stuff is connected to the network, but it's not part of the network. It's outside the network basically, but I can see the stuff that's on here. So for example, let's say iron. So I got right here, I've got 16,000 iron ingots, right? Okay. But it's not over there. It's not part of my network. So I'm going to connect to my network here real quick. If I look at iron, it shows me it's there. It shows me it's available for me to use. I can pull it out, and now it is in my inventory. It's there. I can use it. But it's over here. So I'm going to go and put that back in. And the reason why is because this thing right here is called a storage controller. Those things over here are called drawers. And not to get too complicated, but basically what I did was I linked, this is a linking tool right here that I'm currently holding in my hand. So you right click on the drawer on the controller. You go to each drawer, you right click on the drawer to add it, and you can see it in the white outline. That shows that it's connected to this controller. Same with these over here. And I just put it on the controller. And then I put a storage bus, which again, confusing, but it is what it is. So I put a storage bus over here, which connects everything connected to the storage controller all the way down into here, which plugs into my network. So this would be in technology terms, this would be considered a subnet in a way. It's not part of the main network. It's kind of like own network in a way. But it's part of my network. I don't know. Kind of hard to explain, and this is not a very great way to do it with all these cables, and it's an absolute mess right now. I will be cleaning that up at some point. Again, rabbit holes. All right, up to 12. Each one gives me 8. I'll let it keep running. Actually, I'll go ahead and take those out. Go and pop those into my network. Fantastic. Now my goal is to take all this stuff out of these physical containers and move them just straight up onto my network. Like, I don't need to worry about drawers or chests ever again. That's my goal. But as you can see here, I have a ton of stuff, and all this stuff takes up memory. Everything has its own assigned usage of how many bytes it uses to store and blah, blah, blah. So I've been working on, upgrading my storage on my network so that way I can store more stuff. I'm getting there. Go back over here, show you guys. I've got 5 hard drives. This one has a 256K item. This one is a 4K chemical, 1K fluid, 16K item, and 64K item. So I've got a few different things here. This one can hold a lot more, but it can only hold 63 types of items. So like gold ingot, well, that's one type. So it can hold all the gold ingots probably. But the more gold ingots it holds, the more memory it uses. So if I max out this entire storage cell or hard drive with gold ingots, well, then it's kind of useless to me, honestly. So I'm just been working on creating more, expanding my storage, basically, so that way I can fit all that crap over there and put it over here. I'm getting there. Not close yet, but I'm getting there. One of the ways I was thinking about doing that would be a P2P tunnel. And basically the way a P2P tunnel works is, so basically it'll transfer stuff without needing to put it in something else first. So basically what will happen would be, I would attach a P2P tunnel over here somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. And I would basically make sure it has power or whatever. And then go back over here, connect a different P2P tunnel, put it over here somewhere. And then I would use a memory card to basically sync them with each other. So basically everything that would come out over there would come out over here, be installed on these cards, and then I could use it in my network. That's kind of what I'm going for. I have no idea if I'm actually going to be able to do that. Because again, I just have, I mean, just oodles and oodles of stuff that I don't need or don't use. Like these right here, some of the worst things in the game because I don't use them. So that's why they currently only have 512 of each. Well, everything else is like 16,000. I limited this drawer because I just did. I don't even need this drawer anymore, but the apatite is good for getting like blue dye. That's really about it. Everything else sucks. Fluorite actually is kind of okay. It has some uses, but everything else, no. This is my furnace right here. Works very, very hard. It's really an amazing feature, to be honest with you. But basically it takes all the ores that are being sent to it, smelts them down in ingots, and then filters those ingots over here. So right now you can see that I'm currently at the max on gold, for example. So the highest I can hold is 16,000 right now, at least. I could probably upgrade this more. I don't know for sure. I could probably upgrade it more. Try not to, though. And so right now, everything else, so the other gold ingots, they're going here to the trash. Right in here. Being deleted. Because I just have so much stuff. Like, I don't use that much freaking gold. Like, what am I going to be using that much gold for, to be honest with you? So, yeah. So I let it kick over into the trash. I mean, there's not too much I can do about it at this point. Because it's just producing so much so quickly. And plus, I've just had no general use for gold in a lot of things. So it just kind of just stockpiled. And here we are. This thing is super fast, by the way. Super fast. And then I have a regular netherite furnace. So the other one over there, that's a factory furnace. It doesn't actually change its name. It just still says netherite furnace. But I have a factory modification on here, which turns it into a factory, which also requires it to use heat or uses power instead of fuel. So this one over here is a regular furnace. It uses fuel to heat the furnace. Right now I'm using blocks of sulfur over here. So this pushes it into here. This feeds whatever I want into the furnace. So I can drop a whole stack of whatever in here that I want it to smelt or make or whatever. And it'll pop it out up here. So very easy, very simple. This is an enrichment chamber. Been very, very useful for creating a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into these over here because your brain will probably explode. But this is making sand right here. That's all it's doing. Literally just making sand. Because sand is a really good resource. I use it in a lot of different things. This one over here is crushing netherite or netherrack and then putting it over here and filtering it. This one is doing dust. So as you can see here, it's taking the sand from here, moving it along this yellow pipe, putting it into this other crusher, which is turning it into dust. And then dust is being filtered out through here. These are kind of like crafting units. Basically, they will take whatever's coming in and craft it into something that doesn't require a whole lot of processes. So these pieces, which comes from sifting gravel, um, it'll take those little pieces and it'll make it into an ore, basically. And then it'll send that ore to here. It'll smelt it into an ingot. And then it'll send that copper bar over here to store it. And that's basically the way this entire system works. What I want to do is I want to be able to continue making all these things, like continue manufacturing, but get rid of all the drawers and get all these items on my network. Because right now they're not all on my network. And they should be, but they're not. So I've been trying to learn on how to actually do that a little bit better. I'm nowhere near done, nowhere near anywhere close. I've just kind of been working on getting some things automated, like getting these automated. That took a lot of work. Getting my automation set up in the first place, controlling how much I'm able to automate at the same time, how much I can store after I've automated it. I mean, just, oh goodness, just a ridiculous amount of work. Although down here, this is a wireless access point, and in it I have a dimension card. So this basically allows me to travel across dimensions, go to the nether, go to the end, somewhere very, very far away and across dimensions, and basically still have access to my network with this wireless crafting terminal. So as long as this still has power, I'm still able to access my network no matter where I'm at. And I can craft it, and it'll put it in my network. So this is like amazing. But yeah. All right. I'm wasting a lot of time right here. I apologize. So I know I'm not really doing a whole lot. What I was in the process of doing, I think, was kind of expanding that over there, and then building more of those, and then building more storages. But the main thing I was trying to figure out was why all these items aren't showing up on my network. So say, for example, this Infernium right here. If I go in here, okay, that shows up on my network, which means Nether Quartz should be on my network as well, because it's right next to it. Okay, good. So I believe, what about rubber? Well, not rubber, but silicon. Okay. That shows up. Now these right down here, for some reason, these are not showing up. I can't figure out why. Okay, so we got redstone. Wait, now they're showing up on my network? What the? That's weird. I swear they were not on my network before. What about this stuff? Arrows, bones, string. Okay, there's bones. Catalyzing land. Oh, string, okay. Okay, well, I guess it is on my network now. Okay. All right, well, that's cool. All right. It should see the storage controller, but I don't see it over here. Nope, I don't see it over here, so I'm not sure exactly. Maybe it just couldn't detect it, or I don't know what happened. In either case, neither here nor there, it's working now. So that's cool. Oh crap. Okay. I could create more storage drives. I don't know. I know there's actually higher drives that I can create. It goes all the way up to 256 million with a different add-on. So this Megacells add-on basically kind of takes everything, well, some things from the AE2 stuff, like the hard drives, and just overkills it. So like instead of 256K being the max, like it would be in AE2, this gives you the option to create a 256 million. So extremely big. The lowest they have is 1 million. That's their lowest. And then it goes all the way up to 256 million. So that's probably what I'm going to be going for, is to find a way maybe to automate these. So I don't really know if I'll ever need those, but I at least want to go ahead and start creating the patterns for it. At least kind of get those plugged into the network. Because I know that I'll probably need them at some point in time. So let's see here. No, not you. All right, so let's start here. So I want to encode it. It takes the pattern basically to build it, and then it puts it onto a pattern, which doesn't really require a whole lot, but it is a very, very lengthy process. So I'm going to do that 1 mil there, clear that one, go to the next one, which is 4 million, pop it onto another pattern, 16 million, another pattern, 64 million, and then finally 265, or 264, sorry, 256. I don't know where my brain's at. I apologize. So that's 5 new patterns I need to put into my buffer. I don't know about crafting storage. I don't know which one's going to take more. So let's see here. Let's do one of those. This is basically what holds these. Let's go with a fluid cell housing. I know there's a chemical one, but I don't remember where it is. There's one for the actual storage cell. So if you just wanted to create the very final end product, this is probably the one that you would use. So like, for example, that. So instead of holding the pattern for just this, I could just do that instead. And if that's what I want to do, I would take this pattern. And I'd want to encode it with that. And it turns it into this one. So now it automatically knows, okay, well, he no longer wants just that to be built. Now he wants this and that to build this. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how this is going to work though. So I'm probably going to pop that into the pattern buffer real quick, just to see what it would do. So here's my pattern access terminal. It doesn't really matter which one I put it in. I can put it in any one, but I'm going to put it in its own one for right now. And let's see if I can craft it. So I'm going to select it. I want it to do one of them, for example. Okay. Now here's the problem when you're trying to do the final product. Okay. You need the patterns for this one and you need the pattern for that one. You're going to need both patterns. You can't just do the final product. You got to do everything in between. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. Now I need to recreate the 1 mil. And now I've already got the item cell housing, which is right there. Now let's put those 3 in here. So there is the final product. There is the actual item housing. And there is the storage component. Okay. So now let's try it. Okay, let's reselect it. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Now we're getting into the, oh boy, this is time to put on your big boy pants. So now it's telling us, all right, fine. I'm going to build it for you, bro, but I'm going to need all this stuff. And I mean every single detail. It's going to need all this stuff. But it is telling me it can build it. It says, all right, bro, it's a lot of stuff, but I'll build it for you. It's going to take a while, but I'll build it. It's going to use a whole lot of stuff, but I'll build it for you, man. So thankfully, I've got a lot of stuff already over here available, which is nice. So I'm going to hold off on this one. Or I may just build it. I don't know for sure yet. Right now, I'm just kind of playing around. I just wanted to see if I could possibly build it because this would already be like 4 times better than what I currently have. I currently only have the 256. I have one of those. In order to build this thing, I have to craft 3 of those and then combine it into one storage unit. But it would give me like over 1 million. So 256, together collectively, that'd be about 82,000, 88,000. So if I did 3 separate hard drives with 256K, that'd be about 788,000 total. Whereas this one is letting me use 3 of these, and it's going to give me 1 million total. So it's more efficient, but it's also counting up. It's not including like all of these that it's going to take to build all of this. Because I have to use 9 64Ks. I have to use 4 or 81 4Ks. There's a lot that goes into this final product. But it would only take up 1 drive. It would take up 1 slot. That's it. And then it's going to store a whole lot of stuff. So yeah, very, very nice. Some of these I have partitioned because I've been playing around with them. Some of them I do not. So yeah. All right. Well, now that I know that I can build the 1 million, let's see if I can build the other ones. So I got the 4 million, 16, 256, and the fluid cell housing. Let's go ahead and pop those into the pattern buffer here. There's the 4, 16, 64, 256, and the fluid housing. Because I'm probably going to be using fluids at some point in time. Don't know when, but probably storing fluids at some point. Now it's showing me I have more options. Okay, well, we can build those for you, but I don't have the final product. I don't have it stored yet. So it's not going to be able to make me the final product. So let's go ahead and create more patterns here. Like I said, I once you kind of get into creating a pattern, you're going to blow through them. Like you're not going to have enough patterns or all that stuff to, to keep up with. So now I want it to be able to create, any of the final products, right? So let's see here. There's the 1 million or 4 million, sorry. So I wanted to do this. There's the 4 million. Okay. There's a 16. 64. Oh, crap, that was the wrong one. There we go. And then the 256, which is the highest possible that you can achieve. All right, so now I've got those 4, which will create all the item stuff. I know I'm going to want some more for the fluid and then also for the chemical probably, but and then probably also the crafting storage. But in order to do so, I'm going to need more of these. I need more pattern buffers. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these on here. I need more crafting patterns. That's what I need. Crafting patterns. So I'm going to go ahead and put those up in here. So now I've got the very, very highest item storage cell that you can possibly make in the game. Let's see if I can craft it. Here's the final one right here, the 256 mega item storage cell. Let's click on it. I got 1. Click on next. All right. Now, here's the problem. Everything in red is telling you, hey, you don't got this. So that's first and foremost. Secondly is I don't have enough storage, crafting storage to be able to do it. So my crafting CPU isn't high enough. It's close, but not quite high enough. I have 16,000 silicon, but I'm missing 12,000. I need matter balls. I need a lot more Certus crystal. A lot more glass. I'm missing ender dust. So this is telling me, yeah, you can't build it, bro. You're not even close. You are a far, far speck of dust. So it's telling me, nah, no way, man. No way. You got a lot to learn there, little grasshopper. You got a lot to learn. But let's kind of downsize, I guess. Let's go to the 64. Let's see if I can build a 64. All right, well, we're getting closer. Still nowhere near durable. Glass, that one's pretty easy. These sort of quartz crystals. All right, well, still missing quite a bit of that, and also quite a bit of redstone as well. All right. So I can't do that one. How about the 16? Nope. Still saying, hey, you don't have enough. And it's mostly all the redstone dust that it's telling me that I don't have. Which is funny because when I go to my network, I have 12,000 redstone blocks. So each block holds 9 pieces of redstone, right? Okay. So I technically have over 100,000 redstone. But it's only telling me that it's only counting this. It's only counting that many redstone. So let's go ahead and take this block out. And what I'm going to do here is tell it, hey, let's convert it. All right. Now I'm going to push it back into the system. So now it's going to tell me I have, oh, okay, 37,000 or 3,700, sorry. So it's telling me I got a lot more, but still nowhere near close. So I'm going to have to use up a lot of these redstones blocks in order to convert it back into, that was not what I wanted to do. All right, well, this is going to take a while because I did it wrong. Oh, let's see here. I'm going to kill that trader behind me. Super annoying. All right, so I know I'm like really close to that 16 million or whatever one it was. All right, that's good enough for now. I'll do the rest of these on my own. It got me up to about 8,800, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to go back here. Let's go back to the 16 mil. Still short on redstone, which is fine. I'm still missing 378 in glass, which can be easily rectified. If I come over here, I'm going to grab all the sand. Come over here. Put all the sand over here. And this is basically going to smelt it into glass. As you can see, it's coming out here as glass. That'll take a little bit. It's not a quick process. If I put it in here in the furnace, like the actual factory furnace, oh yeah, it would be done really, really super quick. But I don't have anywhere to put it. I'd have to make like a new drawer, put it into that drawer. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm trying to do the opposite of that. I'm trying to take everything from those drawers, put it on my network. Okay, so we got this cooking over here. Now, I know I also said that I needed, I think it was Enderium dust. Oh, you're up there. What are you doing, bro? Hey, hey, ding dong. Anyways, so the 16 million. Okay. Ender dust. How do I make ender dust? No, not you. Resources. Crushed. Okay, crushed those. So I need to put it in the pulse grinder. But the pulse grinder doesn't know how to do that because it's not doesn't have a pattern. Okay. So now if I do make a pattern for it, geez. Sky stone dust. There it is. Ender dust. Oh, that's the wrong terminal. Let's see here. Ender dust. No, that's Enderium. Which you don't want. I want ender dust. So it's got to be one of these. Not that one, this one. I want to select this one right here because I'm going to put it over here. Okay, now I can go over here to the pulse grinder and pop it into there. So now when I go back to this recipe, it's going to tell me, okay, we can make it for you. See, it's going to tell me, okay, well, you've got it available now. Okay. So actually that 16 million actually might be doable. That's like an excessive amount of storage though, to be honest with you. I may as well just make the 1 millions. Let's see here. How many of these can I make? Okay, 1400 redstone a piece. It's got to craft the glass, which I need more glass for. Everything else I'll be able to craft pretty easily. Or at least it's telling me it'll be able to craft it pretty easily, so. But right now it's telling me most everything is available. It's going to have to craft a couple things in addition to, but for the most part, everything's available. Let's go back over here. I'm going to pick up this glass right quick. Open my terminal. Pop that glass into my network. And you'll be able to see it somewhere. Where'd my glass go? That's glass pane. I swear, I know I put it in here. And now it's not telling me. Come on now. Where is... Oh, I had it filtered. Like an idiot. There's my glass. Oh my god, people. It is. Okay. It's been a long day. All right. So now let's go back over here. I'll probably just do multiple because I can always create multiple of these drives. These are really easy to make. They hold like 10 hard drives. So I may just do that. But what I want to do is I want to take this drive out and I think store it onto, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. I don't know how I'm going to do that. About 4 mil. Hey, I can craft the 4 mil. That's pretty nice. It's going to take a while, but I can craft it. 15,000 bytes used, so very not much at all. If I do 10 of those, well, then I'm kind of, yeah, then it tells me, okay, well, it's going to take 163,000 bytes to build it. And of course, you don't have the stuff to build it. So I don't need 4 of those. Can't even build 5. I could probably build 2 maybe. I can build exactly 1 right now based on everything that I currently have. I can build 1. But I don't really need 1. I'll probably just do like the 1 mils right now. And then kind of go from there. How many of these can I build? Missing everything, or I've got everything except for the redstone. Which is fine. I don't need 10 of those, because that's taking up way too much space. About 5. It's telling me I have 5. All right, well, that's great. I probably don't need 5, but it's telling me I got 5. Or that I can craft 5. Oof. That's a tough trigger to pull. Because that's going to use a lot of resources. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of having a lot of resources is to build bigger and better things so that way you can store even more resources. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough space. Also, what I'm going to need is a maybe like an overflow destruction card. Plus everything that's already, most everything that's over there is already over here somewhere. And I'm not even close to using up my max on any of these cards. Even the 16K, which is the lowest card that I have as far as items, it's only halfway used. And it has all of these items on it. So all of these items in their full capacity, however many I have of these items, it has it stored on this drive. And it's only taken up like half the drive so far. I don't know, people. That's a tough one. Let me see here. I'll wait. I don't need that much storage as of yet because I don't currently have a way to transfer all that stuff officially onto my network. So I'm gonna wait for a moment here. I don't want to just pull the trigger. I'm very, very stingy with some resources. Some things I'm very frivolent about, like all my diamond and gold up there, or diamond and emerald. I don't really use those things a whole lot, so I figured, hey, why not? Let's just make something pretty. I can also do the same thing with, let me see here. I know I'm going to need a lot of those. So I'm going to do like 100 of those. Start that. Now this is going to take a little bit of time. Well, okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought it was going to take a little bit of time. I apologize. It was done way faster than I expected. What I wanted to do, what I was trying to get to, was making some cable facades. And cable facades are basically just creating something to cover up the cables, basically. All right. So a block of diamond is going to look like this. So if I wanted to cover these in like a diamond facade, that's kind of what it would look like. Emerald, it would look like that. Can't do blaze, that would be kind of cool. Can't do blaze rods, dang it. Ancient brick, okay, that looks interesting. Blackstone, charcoal. I mean, I don't know why I'd want to do it with charcoal. Can't do bone meal. Could do quartz, which gives it a very, very nice kind of off-white finish. I could do Certus quartz, just kind of gives it like a blue tintish, which does look pretty nice actually. And I have a literal ton of Certus quartz blocks, which I will probably never use. So, all right, let's build that. Network aesthetics, okay. So now basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it, say here, or there, or up here. And basically it's gonna hide these cables. So that way you don't have to see the cables. And I can also do it down here as well. And it's gonna automatically put, you can see that little rectangle that it's kind of showing you. So not the big square, but that little rectangle there in the middle. That means it's automatically gonna put a spacer there. Look at that. It automatically puts a spacer there. And boom, cable is covered. Now you no longer see the cable. And I kind of want to do this throughout this whole thing. I really don't need to. But I just wanted to, oh, whoa. It could do it in between. No way. Okay, I'm rabbit hole, guys. Rabbit hole. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. Oh my god. Wait, it can go around there? Oh my god. Oh my goodness. This is probably the best thing I've ever seen in a while. To be perfectly honest with you. Yeah. Look at that. Oh my god. Look how much nicer that looks. Like, oh my goodness. That looks so cool. Oh, I could put one over there, cover that up, put one over there. one there, and it just kind of completely boxes it in so that way you can't see nothing. Or at least like none of the cables per se. That looks really cool. I like that. Now I could do the same thing to this over here, but that's a lot of facades. I can't cover up these, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. But this is really cool. I'm liking this. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take these. I'm going to store it here on my network because I'm probably going to come back to that, to be honest with you. I'm probably going to be coming back to that. However, one of the things that I do need to do, and I probably should have done this before, was create some dense cable and replace all this cable, but I'm probably not going to do that. What I want to do is I want to build out this thingy because I know I'm going to be expanding my network, and so I need to build this thingy out. So this is the network, basically the CPU, whatever you want to call it. These are called ME controllers, and these basically control like how many things can be installed on your network. So the more of these you have, the more things you can install on your network, right? So that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to go like overboard, but I definitely want to make something cool. So you guys get to witness either something amazing or absolutely terrible. Now, I don't have any crafting patterns for it. So let me go and do that real quick. Change this over here, back to AE2. Pop the controller over here. Sky stone block. I should have plenty of that. Okay. Fluix crystal. I've got a recipe for that. I don't have a recipe for Fluix stone. Do I have Fluix stone? I have sky stone. There's my sky stone block. Okay. I got 700. More than good enough. All right. Now, it doesn't really matter which one I put this one into, but I'm going to put it in this one right here. Okay. I don't know how many I'm going to need, so I'm probably just going to make a few. Not 100. Not 100. Let's go like 20. How about that? 20. It's a good round number. Okay, it really doesn't take a whole lot, to be honest with you, which is really, really super nice. All right, well then let's go with 50. I mean, come on now. I'm probably not going to need 50. Sand. Okay, now it's going to use sand to create Fluix dust to create Fluix crystal. Okay, so now we're kind of getting into more stuff, which is fine. So we're going to go and start it. It's using all the available resources, crafting 50 of those in roughly not very long. Now it's kind of got stuck because it's waiting for these crystals to be made, which I do need to upgrade these, by the way. Forgot to do so. Go back over here to the crafting. So it's still waiting for these. It's currently crafting these Fluix crystals right now, and then it'll finish building the rest of these. But that's really nice, though. It built 49 of those in like no time at all. But that was mostly because I had the resources on hand. So now what it's doing, I'm going to go back over here, kind of give you guys a little tip. This is called an ME requester. Now, basically what this ME requester does is it hooks up to your network, and you can tell it to keep so many of these items on stock. So I go through a lot of these materials with a lot of this stuff over here. So right now I've told it, hey, I want you to keep 64 of all these on stock at any time. Like, I want to be able to reach into my inventory at any point in time and be able to pull out a full stack of any of these. So right now, all the green ones, that's telling me, okay, cool, dude. We got 64 of those for you in the bank. They're there. This yellow one down here, it's telling me that it's crafting these. Because I just used a lot of Flukes crystals. So it's telling me, hey, sorry, bro. They're not available yet, but we'll get them to you as soon as we can, okay? And that's basically what it's doing right now. Which I do need to upgrade this, which is also at a very another good point. And again, more things that I'll need to create more patterns for. And oh my goodness. All right, so what I do need to do is I need to create upgrade cards. No, actually, I've already got 5 of them. So let's go ahead and pop those in. Okay, this is why I don't like using this key. It is nice to have that key because it does store them. So it stores those cards. But still. All right, so I'm going to go back in here. So this is going to basically increase the acceleration. So now it's able to craft multiple at a time or do it quicker. I mean, look at that. It's tearing through it, tearing through it. So really nice, really nice. You don't really want to go more than that. Once you start going above 4, it starts becoming a little bit more inefficient as far as energy is concerned. So just put 4. Actually, I'm going to put you in there. I've already got 4 in this one because I use this one absolutely consistently. This one, I don't really use all that much. Actually, I do kind of use it fairly much. So let's go ahead and make some more crafting cards. Let me see here. So I need acceleration cards, which is right here. And it's used in a lot of different things that it tells you everything you're able to use it in, basically. So right now it's telling me, okay, well, you're missing some things. All right, well. So I'm going to go ahead and start building these. Let's go ahead and just make 12 of them. I don't know how many I'm going to need, but let's just make 12. So now I need to put these up there. And now I've got 12. Now I can put those back here in my tool. My little tool belt, which is this little key right here. If I right click, it opens this up. Now, one of the other cool things, now that I actually have facades on my network, is if I want to be able to see what the connections actually look like, is I can right click and I can go to transparent facades. If I right click or if I click on it, now it's going to tell me what is behind all of those facades, how it actually looks behind all of these. So it tells me what it's connected to, what the configuration is. Okay, this one's coming in from the back. This one's coming in from the top. Okay, it's in a straight line. It tells me all those things now. Now, if you want to turn that off, go back to actually looking up pretty. You just unclick it, and it goes back to looking pretty. I do need to cover up this section, but I'm not there yet. So back off. Okay. Let me see here. So this is kind of like what I'm talking about, where you start getting into like rabbit holes, where you're like, oh, okay, well this is cool. And you start going into that, and they're like, oh wait, well this is cool too. So then you start going into that. So yeah, fun stuff. All right, I needed to put more on this one, so let's go back to the tool. So these basically store more energy, which is kind of nice. Okay, I'm going to pop 4 on those. It's storing all that energy. And again, all that energy is being taken away from my main network, which is right here. This is my main battery or whatever you want to call it. And then it's feeding it all the way over here to this thingy, which then converts it into what's called AE. So this is FE. Excuse me. This is FE energy. This is AE energy. So this stuff all over here uses AE. These four right here use RF. I know it's very confusing, very, very confusing, but it is what it is. All right. So it's taking a pretty good chunk out of my network, to be honest, or out of my energy, to be honest with you. Normally, I'm holding steady at about 80 million FE, and right now I'm down to about 59. So something is taking up a lot of energy, which is generally going to be these. These are taking up 512 RF per tick. And it's doing it for this one, that one, that one, that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of those are using about 3,000 RF per tick, which is more than I am currently producing, or about as much as I'm currently producing. You can kind of see there up at the top left, it's kind of holding steady about 58, 59, which is fine. But I'm getting to the point to where I'm going to need more energy. So again, rabbit holes. And that's kind of the way it's going to be if you're playing to the sky, all the mods, whatever you want to call it. As long as you're playing this, you're going to be doing something that isn't originally what you were doing. So fun stuff. Let me see here. All right, I don't need that chest here. All right. Let's see here. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was kind of, if I want to build this up, like make more, like put more of these together, then I need to move these in order to connect them, which is going to be a huge pain. I mean, I've got plenty of them on hand, which is good. If I could find them. There they are. I got 50 of those. I'm going to keep one inside just so it doesn't lose its spot. Because I hate that. So I would need to take these off. If I take these off, my whole network goes down. And I'll kind of show you. So one doesn't really mess around with it too much, but it doesn't look like everything is on my network. So yeah, I took away some of the drawers. The ones it took are these way down here, which have all the mob stuff. So all the enemy stuff that they drop, it's now no longer showing up on my network, which is okay. It's not really a big deal, but still rather annoying. So, if I want to build this up, like make it bigger, what do I do with the rest of this crap? Now, I could encase this in and it would work. I don't know if I'm quite there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Okay. Red means it ain't working. It ain't connected to nothing. Nope, no good. Now broke my system and everything is down. It says you done messed up. This does not work. So now if I put more down, it's still saying, sorry, brah, it ain't working, man. It ain't gonna do nothing for you. And that's because this one is over here. It needs to be connected to these over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this one off. And I need a cable, but I can't access my network. I can't get a cable. See if I have a spare cable. I do have a spare cable. Well, how about that? Talk about lucky. I'm gonna pop that cable there. It is now connected to these over here. Look at that, they lit up. And now my network is back online. And now my network is telling me, okay, well, now you only have 13 channels that you've used. All right. Now let's see if I can expand it. Let's make it pretty. Okay, I've got 3 there. Now, if I put one over here, it's not going to work. It's going to go, nope, broken. Because it needs to be connected. So if I put it here, still working. So far, still working. Actually, I wanted to go up the side. I'm sorry. I wish it would tell me how many maximum channels I could have. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you that. It does increase my RF per tick because it's increasing my, I don't know what you would want to call it, processing power, I guess you could say. See if I can put one in front. Oh my God, this hurts my eyes. This is hurting my eyes. I feel like I'm at a concert. But it's working. That's the important part. It's working. So now if I come over here, right click on it with the tool. Okay, so it's telling me I got 24 channels installed. Right now I've only used like 14 channels. Let's make sure I have everything on my network still. Okay, well, no, that's interesting. So it's still not showing. Now, see the block of redstone, that went away. Okay, interesting. Maybe I need to resync it. Let me resync my, let's try that. No. Okay. It's not showing it over here either. Oh, I hate that. I hate that. Oh my goodness. Is there a way to change it to where it's, how about autofocus on open? Okay, that's what it was. The autofocus on open was automatically making me go to the search bar, and I'm so used to pressing E to back out of stuff. Okay, so I've got that fixed. Okay, I have 12,000, and these should be connected to the controller still, which they are. So, device, oh wait, device missing channel. Device missing channel, device missing channel. Okay. Oh, you're missing a channel too. All right, now we're kind of getting into the troubleshooting part. Now I'm trying to figure out why. Yep, this one's not working. Most of my other stuff is working. Okay. So now I'm confused as to why it would not be working. Even that's not working, looks like, or it's hard to tell. Okay. I really don't want to move that because then I have to reset all these. So I'll probably just leave that where it is. It's set pretty good in my opinion. Okay. So confused. I know that I've made this better. It's able to handle more channels, but it's telling me it's not recognizing all my channels. Why? Like, see this right here. It's on my network, but it's not recognizing it. Okay. That's a dense covered cable. All right, well, let's make some smart cables then. I don't know if I really need it. I do 100 of these. Nope, missing wool. All right, well, give me like available missing 76. All right, let's go get some wool real quick. Okay. 27. All right, now it's going to start making the wool from the sheep predictions. It gives me 8 per prediction, so it's going to give me roughly about 200 wool in total, which is nice. Put those over there. I don't know, maybe I don't know, I'm just confused. Like, I see the drawers are connected, but this is not connecting to my network. I don't entirely know why. Hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. We'll see. All right, almost done with this. All right. So now I've got all this wool, which is super nice. And it's still running the simulation, which is great. It's moved all the way up to advanced now at 35%. So that's basically means that as it gets more accurate, it starts basically being more successful, basically. Sorry, I couldn't find the words for that. All right, so now I want to, I think I want to do the dense smart cables, right? Let's do 50. It's gonna take a lot of wool, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Got to craft a lot of these. Got to craft a lot of those. That's fine. All right. So we're gonna craft all this. And you can see right up here, it's counting down. It's started at about 50 seconds-ish, roughly. It's counting down right now, going, oh, okay, yep, we got this, bro. These are very complicated cables to create. Basically, you have to start From here, go to covered cable, then smart cable, then dense covered cable, then dense smart cable. So yeah. And almost done. Boom. Man, that was fast. All right. So everything over here is not working properly. This is not working properly for whatever reason. I don't need it over here. I'm going to take that off. There's my dimension card. Let's go and put you right there because I want to make you stand out a little bit here. Now it's connected. Now it's online. This is my range. Now it's online. Why is it now online? Okay. Okay. I don't know. Might be the cable back there. I don't know, but I'll probably just be swapping out all this cable. Probably starting with here. Let's here, break that off. I don't need to. Actually, I do need to go down. Connect back to my network. Grab some of these. Says I have not crafted it before, so it's like, yay, good for you. Now it's saying it cannot connect to it. Okay. That's a bit of a problem, I would say. All right, well, let's take that back. What do you need to connect to it then? Let's try these. Attached to external storage, which is doing items and fluid. Filter on insert. Actually, I didn't know this was an option. Now it's saying it's online. I do not get that. This is a lesser cable connecting to a bigger cable. I am entirely confused. All right, so now I'm curious. I'm going to click back on that. Still not showing anything on the bus. Is it showing this? No, it is not. Okay. Why? Right now it's saying online. Okay. That was me eating, by the way. Please don't be alarmed. Bro, that's a huge cable. Okay. All right, what's going on here? What's going on? Do I need a, let's try using a bigger cable connected to the smaller cable. Okay. 0 of 32 channels. Device missing channel. Device online. Device online. Device online. Device missing channel. What? Okay, well, let's take you off. And let's put a regular cable back on. I don't know why. Still says device missing channel. Okay. All right. Now I am upset. All right. I want to. What are you connecting to? So those cable facades, or those cables, look like they're connected to these. each face is supposed to be holding like 32 channels. Then I don't know. Let's put one there. Eight of 32 channels. Okay. Let's see what this one says. Well, it's not going to tell me exactly, I don't think. Okay. Go and break this one. Zero of 32 channels, 8 of 32 channels. I don't know. I'm like incredibly confused at this point. There goes Griff. He's trying to get through the enchanting stuff, which I've already gone through. But he's trying to catch up on that part of it, so. All right. One of 32 channel. Okay. I don't know how many that one's doing. 0 of 32. Those say they're online. Okay. So now let's go back over here. Device missing channel. What in the world? Oh my goodness, people. One of those things where I'm like throwing my head up against the wall here. So I had one control, I had two controllers right here. Okay, and those, for whatever reason, seem to have worked. But when I put them over here and still connecting to the network, it's saying no, not good enough. Okay. I don't know, guys. I'm a little stunned on this one. I'd probably take all these down. I mean, that does look really, really cool. I thought I was being clever there for a second. Apparently not, though. Okay. 5 of 32 channels. What? Okay, so is this back online? Nope. Okay. Oh my goodness. Storage bus. Do I have to attune the storage bus? I don't believe I do. Still says device missing channel. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm terribly confused right now. All right. Let's just go ahead and get rid of you. I'm going to put you back over here. Put you two. 6 of 32 channels. Now that's, aside from the cables, that's kind of the way it was originally done. Now it says device online. What? I'm guessing because there's more devices over here on this side. I don't know. I am incredibly confused. But nonetheless, everything is currently working again. I'm probably going to leave that alone for a little bit here. I'm going to work on making this bigger. So they're still over here. They're not going to do anything because they're not connected to the network. But if I put it like here, it detects it on my network and it's saying, no, it's not connected to these. So again, confused, but neither here nor there. All right. I'm going to mess with that again at some point in time. For the time being, I really don't feel like I did a whole lot, but maybe I did. I don't know. In any case, I need to put that wireless adapter back on. Let's put you, I don't know. I feel like I have nowhere to put it now. Can I put it on you? No. Okay. All right. Neither here nor there. Put it there. Okay. It's working now. I mean, that's all I care about at this point is that it's working. So it is what it is. I got to do a bit more studying for an exam I have to do tomorrow. I'll probably be messing around with this for probably at least a few days. This is going to be a huge pain in my butt, that's for sure. But I definitely want to get this expanded so that we can add more devices. I did see a video on this recently, but right now the way I have everything configured, it doesn't, no, like my stuff isn't configured the way it needs to be configured, basically. So I'll mess around with that, I promise. But for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and probably call it a night. I got to go do some studying. In any case, hope you guys have a great time. Have a great night. Again, I apologize for not being around. I'll try to be around a bit more often. Still trying to make affiliate. That's a long-term goal, apparently. But in any case, you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you.